AI is changing the world and it can help you make thousands and thousands of dollars on autopilot, but it all comes down to one fundamental: having full control over your profits and making sure you're always closing your bot with a positive P&L. Everything is gonna make sense in just a minute. Hear me out. You're gonna shut down your bots always in a positive P&L, and that is exactly what we went today with one of my members inside of CBA. Because setting up your bot is one part. Closing and shutting down your bot in a positive P&L is another part. At the end of the day, you can deploy as many bots as you want, but if you don't have a positive P&L, then you're not gonna grow. So what I did today is, with one of my members inside CBA, I showed him step by step how to set up a bot, how to shut down a bot with always in a positive P&L. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna share with you a whiteboard, because first the goal, before we get into the technical stuff, Janice, is to help you understand how does it look, the high return strategy. Okay, so the goal is gonna be hitting 1% per day with each of your bots, and to keep the total P&L, we want to keep the total P&L as close to the bot profit. Right, that is the goal. That is what we look at. Okay, so meaning that if we have generated 20% in bot profit, we want 20% in total P&L, or as close to 20%. Yeah, that is called unrealized profit.
Okay.
So how do we do that? Well, understanding bot fundamentals, you're gonna understand that the bot makes money on the sideways movement, right? So we don't want to shut down the bot necessarily when it has gone down, because we know that if we select the right cryptocurrencies, then it's gonna go up again and we're gonna be on a profit again. So what we want to do is, once the bot starts running and trading, okay, and it had for example, let's do this, it had a huge bump like this, like I have seen on your bots, that you had a couple of bots that had a huge bump, and then it dropped, and then you were out of range or you were on a loss.
Yes.
So how do we avoid that? Is, once you have hit, let's say, a 20% P&L, we want to move the stop loss all the way up and set it up in a closed support area somewhere around here.
So can you do that while the bot is trading? Can you modify the bot by moving up the stop loss or not?
You can do that. Yeah, let me show you how that looks in a more practical example. So I'm gonna open up my demo account. So once you are here, for example, if you had a bot running, you can see your total P&L is 4.19%, and the bot profit is 9.85%. So there is quite a big gap here. You see?
4%. Yeah.
So how do we avoid that? Is we are gonna take and click on bot actions. Modify the bot. Activate the stop loss. And at first, I want to make sure that I'm in the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so you're gonna click on the daily and then click here and change this to the 1 hour time frame. So once we are done with that, we want to make sure we select the stop loss, and we have to make sure that the stop loss trailing is also activated. What that means, it means that if you have your bots running, okay, and then the price goes up, as the value of the cryptocurrency goes up, by activating a stop loss trailing, the price of the market, the stop loss price is gonna increase and follow along with the market.
Emilio, obviously this setting is for a bullish trend, isn't it?
That is right.
If I was to trade on Bitcoin at the moment, which approaching the halving, this would be a good strategy to lock on and just follow it up. When it comes down, it will shut the trade if it turns the other way.
Totally. Yeah. So this is a very good strategy if you have a large investment amount, $5,000, and you said, I want to set up this bot with, and I want to make sure that I feel protected, that I feel safe. So I'm gonna set up the stop loss trailing, So, you know, when the Bitcoin halving is going to happen, there will be a lot of coins that will go 10x, 20x in value, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what we want to do is make sure that we secure the profits by increasing the stop loss, but we don't want to manually be checking this
Watching.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is why the stop loss trailing is created. So that way you can follow along with the market. Yeah.
This is fantastic. This is unbelievable stuff. I didn't even know there's such a setting.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
So that is, Jonas, that is if you're looking for a more long-term strategy, right? If you want to set up a bot with a large investment amount, maybe $3,000, $5,000, and you tell yourself, you know, I want to make sure that I'm going to be holding this cryptocurrency for a long time, and I want to lock down the profits. So you will set up the stop loss trailing, which will follow along the market.
Yeah. Brilliant, man.
Yeah, of course. Now, when we are talking more of a short-term strategy, and you tell me, I want to hit a 1% per day, but I want to make sure that I'm getting good results and I'm locking down my profits. How do I approach that? Okay, how do I approach that? Is like this. Let's say you have this cryptocurrency running, okay, and then it starts making buy and sell orders. It has the profit generated, and then it crosses down this price. We want to make sure that the stop loss is set in a way that is going to lock down the wins and secure your profits.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this example, the stop loss will be close to a support line. So somewhere around here. So you can see the bot could have shut down here, and well, the bot couldn't have been able to make more buy and sell orders, and you would have ended up in a profit by the end of the day. Yeah, moving on with this example. Yes, so the main idea, Jonas, is that you want to make sure the total profit and the total P&L and the bot profit are similar. And the easiest way to do that, if the cryptocurrency starts moving sideways, what is going to happen is that you will be generating total P&L and bot profit, right?
Yeah.
When is the total P&L decreasing?
When it drops.
Exactly. Yeah. Can you avoid a cryptocurrency dropping in value?
No.
Yeah, nobody can do that. Exactly. Unless you have millions of dollars hidden somewhere. But
you got to be a whale.
Yeah, exactly. But so how do you avoid this? You cannot do that. But what you can do is you can adjust your stop loss in the closest support. If that happens, then you will lock down your wins. Yeah, exactly. I'll be setting it up close to this area. Indeed. Yeah. Is that making sense so far? Is that clear?
Yes, I got that. Yeah.
So what we do at the moment of setting up the stop loss in the closest support is to ensure that if the cryptocurrency keeps, like, we have two scenarios here, or actually three scenarios. That's it. We don't have more scenarios. There is only three scenarios, and we can break them down. The first one is going to be a positive scenario where the cryptocurrency goes up, right? Which we will be making money. That's good.
Sideways.
Yeah. The second scenario will be sideways, which we will be also making money. And then the third scenario will be a downtrend. And if we can make money, but it's going to be a little bit tricky. So by setting up the stop loss below the support, we are already preparing ourselves for the worst case scenario and locking down the wins too close to a support area. So what do I mean by this? If a common mistake that, believe me, even I do those mistakes from time to time, is setting up too close to a support area. Do you see this one here?
Yes. Yeah, it's gone through a couple of times.
What do you think is going to happen?
Stop your trade.
Exactly. I'll be trading sideways. I'll be making money. And then boom, it shuts down the bot, and then it goes up again. Okay. So when we're looking to set up the bot or the stop loss, and we can see an uptrend, right? So we had an uptrend. Maybe the total P&L was sitting at maybe 10% here or whatever. That is going to be the first scenario, right? We have an uptrend. What do we do when we have an uptrend? Is we set up the stop loss relatively close to market price. We don't set it up close to a support. Yeah, I'll let you.
So that's a short-term thing.
Exactly, that is a short-term strategy. If you have an uptrend, you want to get in and get out. You want to secure your wins, and that is a mistake that I did for a long time. I was setting up my stop loss way too low, and then how crypto works is that there is a huge pump and then there is a huge dump. So when the cryptocurrency dropped in volume, my bot was shut down with a loss.
An what do you call it when you a trailing stop loss close to the market price.
So a lot of cases, crypto will be very volatile. So what happens is the cryptocurrency is going to be trading sideways. Then there is a huge pump. We are very high in the total positive P&L. Maybe we are 25%, like I saw with one of your bots.
Yes.
What do we want to do right there? Especially if we are in a short-term strategy, what do we want to do? We want to lock down the win. So what do?
Yeah.
We put in the stop loss relatively close to the market price.
Yeah.
So what happens 75% of the time when there is a huge pump, there is a huge dump.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now the 25% of the times usually trade sideways for a couple of days, maybe a couple of hours, and then it goes up again.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are prepared for that scenario. What do we have to do in that case is kind of like do the same, just move the stop loss relatively close to market price. Very important lesson. So this is the first scenario, and a short-term bot with a strong uptrend movement.
Yeah.
Now, what is the second scenario, which is same, a similar situation, strong uptrend with a strong downtrend. So we had a strong uptrend followed by a strong downtrend. We know that if we're gonna secure our wins, it means that if we're at 20% P&L, like I saw in one of your bots, you were at 20% P&L at the highest high, and it dropped massively in volume, and I think you were 1%, something like that.
Yeah. So I've lost all of that.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you have your stop loss there. So worst case scenario, it drops in value massively. You are guaranteeing your profits. It's not going to be 20%, but it's definitely not going to be 1%. So it will be probably about 17% or maybe 18%, something like that. Beautiful. So that is the first scenario. We have an uptrend with a strong uptrend followed by a strong uptrend, or an uptrend followed by a strong downtrend.
Yeah.
Okay. The second scenario is going to be sideways. And this one can be a little bit tricky, Jonas. It's going to take a little bit of practice for you to really identify what is going to be the right place to set up your stop loss. We're going to have sideways movement, right? We are aware that to make a bot work, we're going to need low price and high price. And by default, we set up the bot here. By default, our stop loss is here. So how do we use securing your profits in a sideways movement? When our total P&L is higher than our goal. So for example, let's say your goal, 10% in 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say your goal is to make 10% in 10 days. And during the sideways movement, we have accumulated a total P&L of 10% during this sideways movement. What do we do is we lock down the wins by setting up my stop loss very close to support as well. So I will probably setting up close to here, stop loss. There we go. So we're gonna set up our stop loss relatively close to market price, so we ensure that we are locking down our wins in case the market keeps going down. Okay, that is essentially what we do. Now, the same applies if the cryptocurrency starts going up in volume. Okay, let's say it is moving sideways and then it has a huge pump and it keeps moving sideways, then you will want to make sure you set up your stop loss as close to support, to market price. Yeah, that's really ill. That's really, honest, the main understanding. That was all for today's video, guys. I hope you got value, which is the most important thing. And if you want to learn how to successfully deploy crypto bots, then make sure to subscribe. I try to upload a video every week, but sometimes my calendar just gets full. But the most important thing again is that you are getting value of this. If you have any questions, feel free to post it on the comments.